Hello and welcome to the Rep PvP Guide. Okay, stats for Rep Paladin. Strength is the king. It's by far the best, highest damage dealer, and choose it over every other stat in any place possible. A hit cap after that is the most important. 5% is a 0% mischance 85. Then Mastery. Mastery has changed a bit since it's been introduced for Rets. But at the moment mine does 32% additional damage for Crusader Strike and Templar's Verdict, which is a lot, and I would choose that. I use this in Patience of Youth trinket, which is a strength on use and constant mastery, 321 mastery. Haste is useless. I mean, you don't really want to be speccing into Sanctity of Battle. We don't have any haste on our PvP gear. It's neglect that stat as much as possible. Crit, try and keep a moderate amount of crit. I mean, I've reforged everything into mastery. Some say leave the crit alone. You want some crit, but I crit a fair amount anyway, and I'd prefer to have my overall damage higher than rely on even more RNG. Rets are clunky enough as it is. Enchant for my weapon, I used the Paladin weapon channel. I did try a landslide for a little while, but the damage bonus was noticeable and it was helpful, but I rely on my burst hugely. That's how I land kills. I very, very rarely land kills without using my cooldowns. And so I want to minimise the chance that that period of 20 seconds when I've blown my cooldowns is reduced, so I don't want to be disarmed. I want to save my trinket for CC. I don't want to have to use that for disarm. Strength on my hands and on my bracers, head and shoulders. I use the 40 resilience on the chest because overall that's slightly better in my opinion than the 15 stats all round. Boots, 50 mastery. The speed enchant doesn't stack with Pursuit of Justice, so that's useless. There's no point getting that. And 190 attack power with 55 crit on the legs. You want the extra gem on the waist, of course. And I think okay, spec. Now this is the spec I use. I'm just going to talk through the variations that people use rather than the main bit, because you can see that from here. It'd take me too long to go through and explain every individual talent point I've spent. I can do that in another video if you guys would like me to. Now, Art of War, I only spec 2 in this. I don't see the extra 6% chance on exorcisms really game breaking in any way. I'd rather have the 2 extra seconds on Hand of Freedom, because especially in 3s there's going to be slows down a lot. I want to stay on the healer. I play a burst setup, Frost DK, sorry, Unholy DK now, 4.2 is just hit, Disc Priest and Rep Paladin, and we pretty much forced the healer to use some cooldowns and then change to them very quickly and blow them up. Some people spec 2 into Acts of Sacrifice. It reduces the cooldown and cost of your Hand of Freedom, Salvation and Sacrifice. I don't see that being very beneficial at all. The movement impairing effect on Cleanse is a must. You need that. Otherwise your mobility is going to be absolutely shocking. Divine Storm, not unless you're doing rate BGs, leave that out. It's really not very helpful. In 5s you might get 1 holy power from it, but the damage isn't really good enough. The heal is nothing special at all. Talents points are much better spent elsewhere. Some people go for Eternal Glory rather than Divinity. I'd rather have the extra healing overall, because whereas before in 4.0, 4.1 we could use Word of Glory and then use it again if the holy power wasn't consumed. Now it's just going to be the damage difference. So if you don't consume the holy power for the heal, you're going to get to do a bit extra damage. And if you're going defensive, I don't really see that as hugely important. Increases the damage done of your seals. Now I spec everything into the seal because it increases weapon damage, and the dot on it's fantastic. All our moves are weapon damage. We want to enhance that as much as possible. Having this on a 40-second cooldown is brilliant. It's up very quickly. Used all the time, it is game breaking. It is very good. It's ranged. I use a glyph, increase the range on it. It's brilliant, and increases the critical effect chance of Judgment and Templar's Verdict. Some people might go Last Word, but I don't see that's important really. Selfless Healer means that it's going to be a big heal anyway, and the crit extra now, if you do get it, is huge. So I prefer not to go in that, and also these two talents are pretty worthless. I mean, you don't get haste on your gear, don't spec into Sanctity of Battle, it's not worth it. And that's pretty much it. The 10 expertise granted on Seal of Truth is very helpful. It increases your damage by quite a lot, it stops a lot of parries, and I would definitely recommend this one. It's a high damage increasing glyph. This one, our survivability isn't great at the moment, so I would definitely spec into Word of Glory. Increases the healing done by it by 10%. Temper's Verdict definitely increases the damage done by 15%. You'd be foolish not to go for that. I get this one. Quite often you go after a mage or something that's slowing you constantly at Death Knight with Consecration. You got to spam cleanse quite a lot, and I don't want to miss a kill because I don't have enough mana. This is a must for me. Increases the hammer over justice range, so you're getting a CC chain on the healer, rep, stun, fear, silence, whatever class you play with. You don't really want to be having to run right up to them just to stun them. The extra 5 yards really does make a difference. Turn Evil, this is helpful for Death Knights, Warlock Pets, which are now hitting a lot. That's instant. I use a mouse over macro to fear. And then these are just mana reduction. Glyphs, nothing really very important there. Now for some PvP actions with commentary and arena and battleground footage at the end. Okay, here we face a rogue and a feral druid. I'm going to try and kill the rogue pretty much. If I can force him to vanish, use cloak and whatnot, then he's not going to be getting off the stuns on my priest. The priest starts with a fear. The druid's out of form, so I take the opportunity to rep him. I get blinded just as I do it. Usually I'd trinket blind, but I trinketed Cyclone at the start to try and get off burst on the rogue. So here I stun the rogue, blow cooldowns, Zealotry, Inquisition, Wings. My pet's already up to stop the rogue stealthing immediately. The rogue's he has to vanish. He's gonna die otherwise. So I just change to the druid, hurt him, because that way either the rogue has to come out to support the druid, or I can just kill the druid. So okay, now the druid, I know they can hot themselves. They go bare form. They can kite pretty well if they want to, especially with a rogue training me. So I just leave him. He's jumped down the bottom. He's not a threat. Change back onto the rogue. When he comes out, there he is. And finish him off, because I know how druids can recover. My priest is just making sure he doesn't re-stealth. He's gone off keeping dots on him. Yeah, I got disarmed, so I just rep the rogue to stop him doing any of his sneaky little rogue stuff while I wait for my disarm to wear off. Oh, right here, he's trying to kite me, so I chase him around with Consecration and basically corner him into either running over the AoE or coming out, and I can hammer him, but he gets a backstab or gouge off. He's dead, just finish off the druid really, easy job. This is Hunter Rogue. It's an alright-ish map for us. We've got the pillars, but if we need to move off anywhere, we've got to cross quite an open area of open ground. I'll start with a rep on the hunter. Yeah, he trinkets straight away, which is kind of what we want. The priest would have feared him after that had he not trinketed, and he would have had to be forced to really. Then we stun the hunter, blow our cooldowns, blow my cooldowns, try and kill him. Now sometimes I can kill hunters in one stun. Yeah, I mean, even if I just left my pet on him, he'd die. He's dead. Then we just finish off the rogue really. Quite an easy fight. Okay, this priest and Death Knight, what are the harder combos for us? Warrior Death Knight, Priest Death Knight, before this 4.2 patch was very difficult. He's not tier 2, but he's got Necrotic Strike, he's an Unholy Death Knight. There's a timer on my priest, I'd say, with good support, 5 minutes-ish that he's going to survive, depending on how quickly he gets through all his cooldowns. Now I rep the priest here. I've got through the bubble on the DK, the priest shield, so I can get off some damage on him. We follow this up with either the fear or a hodge. We don't need either. He's trinketed now. He's trying to burn him. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to last long enough. So now the priest trinketed, I'm just going to work up through Holy Power, wait for my stun, get some damage off on this DK. Now, there was a possibility I could have killed the Death Knight if he had a Sphere, but it wasn't really worth it. He's got anti-magic shell, he can still sacrifice his pet. Now, during all this, I just make sure my priest is alright. We keep talking, find out what cooldowns he's used, how he's doing, do a stack of Necrotic Strike. Now, I have Hand of Freedom over my stun soon, so I'm going to turn to the priest and basically work up, get through his shields, get him down to about 80k health, perfect, 80k health, got everything, stun him, blow my cooldowns, follow the stun up, if I needed to, the 2-second silence, he's dead, get him over for them. That's pretty much one of the only ways you can beat them, is to force the healer to trinket and blow them up. Rets have really good burst and good support, so that's how we play pretty much against every healer, the only exception is a mage. Okay, in this match we face a warlock and a rogue. Basically it's going to be quite situational depending on our position. I'm probably going to try to kill the rogue and lost the lock, but if we can get the lock to trinket, or if he's near me, I'll stun him and blow my cooldowns on him with a fear on the rogue. At the moment, yeah, we're just hiding behind the pillar, playing fairly defensively. Don't want to be right out in the open with the lock there. Loss here. To get some damage off on the rogue, he's already cloaked, and the lock's right next to me. Not going to chase him out there. Lock's trinketed with the fear, the priest fears the lock. So I stun him, got 3 holy power, blow all my cooldowns. I mean, yeah, trinket any CC that comes on me. Even if he gets away from me, he's in a bit of trouble. He's going to have to hide for a little while to show his face. Now, okay, there I got caught up in CC. If that lock was going to get away, I'd have bubbled to finish him off because I knew I could get a guaranteed kill. But he didn't. Let the CC word off, managed to kill him fairly quickly, and that's it, really. We face a bit of an odd combo here, Enhancement Shaman and Feral Druid. Now I have a choice between blowing up the Shaman, blowing up the Druid. They're going to try and kill my priest straight away at the start. I've got off hills bop, he's got his cooldowns, he's talking to me this whole time, let me know what is used. And I basically try and blow up the Shaman, because Druids, they recover I think a little bit more easily. Sick off hill there. 81k crit since 4.2, the crits on the heals have been buffed. Makes things a lot more fun. Just finish off the Shaman really. I bubble out of CC just a minute ago because I used my trinket at the start on Cyclone. I don't really like to sit in a 6-second Cyclone and then possibly wait for him to do it again. I'd rather just trinket this first and then he can't do it for a little while. Get the pressure in at the start.